But I'm not here for me. I'm here for you. My name is Kevin J. Manhattan. I want to thank the God of my understanding for blessing me with people such as Brent, Reggie, the rest of the staff that was here during the time of my stay here at the harbor. So much gratitude resides in my heart for this place, right? When the phone call was made, and the answer came, I responded, and that's not something that I'm used to, responding. Y'all missed that. I'm not used to responding, acting upon. I'm used to running, fleeing, abandoning ship. You know what I'm saying? Everything that comes along with being irresponsible, that was my niche before I got here. Because of the disease of addiction that I suffer from, I found myself being homeless, on the streets, hungry, destitute, full of degradation. And if you don't know what destitute and degradation is, let me define that for you. Degradation. It means that I degraded myself to meet the needs of my addiction. Dereliction. It means that I don't give about lowering my standards to meet the need of my addiction. And so I was willing. There's a reading that says that an addict is a man or a woman whose lives are controlled by drugs. That was me. It landed me on the west side of a concrete horseshoe behind the Martin Luther King Center in Dallas. And I had came to that point. I arrived at that point after coming off a 12-day run. I had been out there using 12 days in a row. And I had a plan. Now imagine that. An addict with a plan. Dangerous. Right? And I said to myself, well, I'm going to lay down behind this concrete horseshoe and I'm going to get up in the morning before people start coming to work. Well, what happened was, somebody said, what had happened? What had happened was, I slept past my plan. I was awakened the next morning by sunlight and some people called landscaping crew. They happened to be cutting the yard, trimming the hedges, weeding, and trimming. So once I was awakened by all of the noise and I seen nothing but sunlight, I immediately was overwhelmed with shame because I had slept past my plan. So now I gotta face the reality. Somebody finna see me. He homeless, y'all. He was asleep behind that concrete horseshoe. He ain't got nowhere to go. Y'all smelling? Oh, I'm the only one who know about smelling somebody. But I popped up from behind that concrete horseshoe like Jack in the Box. And the lawnmower stopped cutting, the weed eater stopped weed eating, the trimmer stopped trimming, the hedger stopped hedging, and the Hispanic lawn crew were looking at each other like, hey, Vato, where it come from? Where did it come from? And I was, all I could do was just go to the back door of the Martin Luther King Center, and I'm overwhelmed with shame. And for the first time in a long time, I waved that white flag, not really knowing that that's what I was doing. But I was saying to myself, Lord, if this is all I got coming, then I don't want no more. And if you are who you say you are, and if you love me like you say you do, then you better do something, because I can't. And I remember making a beeline straight through the back door to Martin Luther King Center. And I went straight out the front, and I walked down the sidewalk to a recovery resource center by the name of Apple. And I had a recovery coach that was already set up and in position to help me help myself. Now let me just stop and interject this, right? Because at this point, all I know is that I don't want no more of what done got me to this point. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what the future beholds for me. But I was just willing at this point to do anything. Anything, right? So I go up inside of Apple, and I happen to be sitting across the room from a guy who happened to be watching one of Souls Harbor's videos. There was a recovery coach showing the clip to another client. At that particular time, as much crack cocaine as I smoked, y'all know I couldn't miss nothing from across the room. So I'm looking at this video, and so I asked my recovery coach, can you get me in that place right there? He said, I don't know. Let's make the call and see. They could be fooled. And so now, I don't believe in rabbit feet and none of that stuff, right? But anything that could play a part in my being so fortunate to get a bed here was a plus for me. I would have been willing to implement anything, right? Lucky feet, lucky charms, it doesn't matter. Long as I had luck on my side. But I give you one bigger than that. At the time, I didn't know it. He revealed himself to me later on, after I got here. But I had God on my side.
That's right.
So my recovery coach makes the phone call, right? The guy answers the phone. He said, this is so-and-so, I'm from Apple, and I have a client here, a peer, who's in need of recovery. He wants to change his life around. Do y'all have a bed available? And they said, yes. Yes, we have a bed. Because of the fact that I was irresponsible before I got here, there was a few things that I had to do. I had to get my business in order because, mind you, I'm tired and I don't want no more, right? I told him I had to make I had to make right what was wrong at the time so that once I got here, I wouldn't have to leave here. I don't know if y'all got that. I had to make right what was wrong so that once I got here, I wouldn't have to leave here. Because what's on the back side of it, I was scared. I didn't want to leave. I wanted to stay here. I wanted you guys to take me captive. Just like the disease of addiction took me captive. Against my own will. It was times when I didn't even want to get loaded. But I had to get loaded. Why? Because I have the disease of addiction. Which brings me to this point. Once I arrived here at Souls Harbor, I wasn't interested. You know how some folks, you come across some folks, you know, once they new on the scene, they try to find anything and everything that's wrong about the place that they don't like. You know what I'm saying? I don't like them ceiling fans. They need to be whirling a little bit faster. Them lights need to be a little bit brighter. I don't like the way the fan is sitting sideways. That door squeaks when you open it. Right? We'll figure out, we will dissect this place apart. Right? And the disease of addiction is always active. It has one purpose and one purpose only: to not leave me alone. Yeah, it takes no breaks, no intermissions, right? Refuses to resign. Yeah. But see, when you're somebody like me who's been caught up in the high cost of low living, it don't matter where I am. See, what makes me an addict is, see, I suffer from the disease of addiction. And what makes me an addict is not what or how much I use, but how do I act after I use. So when I got here, I didn't know how to act. I'm talking about clean. I didn't know how to act clean. But everything that I needed, everything that God knew I was going to need, it was readily available for me once I got here. This place is strategically put together. God knew exactly what he was doing when Soul Harbor was birthed. And I like the analogy that comes along with Soul Harbor. See, as a sailor, right? The captain, I'm gonna call it the love book. How about that? Y'all don't know nothing about Isaac. But on every boat, there is a captain. On every boat, there is a captain. And whenever a storm is approaching, right, the captain has the option of harbor. I can deck at the harbor, or I can go out and weather the storm.
Yes.
Y'all missed that, didn't you? I can dock at the harbor, or I can go out and weather the storm. Once I got here, I decided to dock at the harbor. I done already been in the storm.
Yeah.
I'm coming out. Look at your neighbor, tell him I'm coming out. I'm docking at the harbor. And once I got here, they gave me something to do. See, I'm used to doing drugs. I'm used to selling drugs. I'm used to the street life. I'm used to everything that comes along with that. There's a fellowship that says that if the drugs don't kill you, the lifestyle will. It was here at Soul Harbor where I learned how to do something different than what I've always done. They gave me something to do. Where I come from, they said, if you want something you ain't never had, that means you got to do something you ain't never did. So what does that mean? You got to switch your game up, Kevin. You've been doing stuff bass backwards. Some of y'all missed that. But that's the story of my life. I couldn't get right, especially under the influence. It refuses to let me do right. The only thing that I wanted to do right was get loaded, and I couldn't do that good. But I gave him a best shot, though. I gave him a best shot. So much of what God has done for me, it all started right here. It all started right here. Y'all want me to tell you how desperate I was? And I thank God, let me stop right here and just say, I thank God for the spirit of desperation. See, through my inability, see, I have a feelings disease. I have a feelings disease. I don't know how to control my emotions without the use of drugs. So it was the spirit of desperation hurled me. It propelled me. Once I get gut rich and honest, it ran me in him. I was driven in him. The spirit of desperation. I'm willing to do whatever you say. Because when I was in the dope house, in order for me to feel like they felt, they say, this is what you got to do. And I did exactly what they said. Whether I realized it or not, at the time I had a sponsor even in the dope house. Somebody to show me how to do this thing. Then I come into the rooms of recovery and I'm like, I don't know nothing. Oh, I'm the only one acting like I don't know nothing. But I'm here to tell you, man, that it was emotion that got me here, but it's my devotion that keeps me here. I don't know how to do this thing on my own. So I had to invite God into my life. That's right. That's right. Who is now the captain of my ship. That's right. Amen. He orders my steps. Yes, yes. There's a little bitty word that I implement in my recovery today that makes my outcomes today better than they've ever been. You know, they say all you have to do is possess the ability to follow instructions in recovery. But I have to be in compliance. Y'all missed that. Y'all sure got quiet then, boy. I have to be in compliance. I can be stable in my recovery and still be out of compliance. What does that mean, Kevin? Or what does that look like? I'm glad y'all asked. I can be clean and batshit crazy at the same time. Because I refuse to change. And they tell me that change is good. Change is good. You know why change is good for Kevin? Because if I don't change, I won't be asking you for something. Can you spare a nickel or a dime? Can you got a dollar? Can you buy a brother something to eat, brother? You know? Change is good. So when I got here, I was not resisting the change that was supposed to take place. I became compliant. Let me, oh, y'all ain't getting it, man. I'm finna. Come on. All right. Anybody in here been to jail before? Let me see the hands of y'all been to jail before. All right. Y'all have, just like me, the disease of addiction. See, when you commit an offense, right, you go to jail, they book you in. Oh, don't nobody know about this process? I don't want to know about this process. You know, the free courtesy ride downtown, the consolation, the shiny little pretty bracelets, you know, the free photo shoot. Yeah. Fingerprint database, you know. All room accommodation. You know what I mean? They bring you your meals, your mail, all of that stuff, right? need them, they'll bring you your meds too. Right? So when you commit this offense, right, you go to jail. And some folks that's got a little money are sometimes fortunate enough, right, to get what they call a bail bonds. Right? Who can do what? Bail you out of jail. Bail you out of jail. Right? I want you to know that the disease of addiction is arrested. There's a reading that says that the disease of addiction can be arrested at some point and recovery is then possible. So I need you to know that right now the disease of addiction is arrested. It's arrested right now. But it's trying to make bail. Did you get that? Yeah. It's trying to make bail. So it's up to you to ensure yourself that you don't release the disease of addiction. Did you get that? Yeah. Listen closely. The disease of addiction won't out. It does not care about you being here at the hall. Just like you at work and you doing what you need to do, the disease of addiction is presently involved in your day-to-day activities. When you go to work, it's going to work with you. While you at work, it's at work with you. Right? When you clock out, it's clocking out too. When you coming home, it's coming home with you. When you eat, it's eating with you. Everything that you do, it's doing it with you. It refuses to resign. And its sole purpose is to jack with you. The disease of addiction is not outside doing push-ups. It's inside of you. The disease of addiction is progressive. Even while you clean, it's getting stronger. And it uses situations and circumstances to its advantage. And so if you don't have a program, if you don't have a foundation, if you don't have a sponsor, if you're not working those steps, if you're not fellowshipping, if you're not plugged into God, you know what I always say? Just give time some time, and time gonna tick. So I'm not here to just share with you what recovery looks like at work. I'm going to share with you what it looks like when you don't work it. Because my story consists of relapses. I didn't get it right the first time. But I stand before you today grateful for 5 years clean. But I had to go to work this time. And if you're not willing to go to work, ain't no payoff. There is no payoff. No deposit, no return. What you get out of it is what you put into it. Right? So I had to ask God after I got here, Lord, whatever they want me to do, I'm willing to do it. And wherever I'm lacking in my willingness, bless me with a double portion of willingness to even be willing. Bless me to, even when I don't want to be willing, bless me with a double portion so that I still end up being willing. Willing to do the next right thing. If I don't know exactly what the right thing is, give me enough wisdom, give me enough sense to do the next right thing. Long as it don't lead me back to where I came from. I don't know about you, but this program really worked for me because I like tailor-made stuff. Oh, yeah, I like tailor-made stuff. Yeah, and I'm just here to testify that if you ain't got that tailor-made, just right ass whooping, you will return. You will go back. I got the one that was tailor-made. And today it's my truth. And I'm not ashamed of my truth. Because in my truth there's strength. There's strength. And today I have the strength to carry on. Right? A lot of y'all still kind of pondering on what God blessed me to drop on you a while ago. The disease of addiction trying to make bail. But since you didn't like that one, let me give you something else. Y'all know what a pimp is? Huh? Y'all know what a pimp is, right? Y'all know what a pimp does, right? Y'all know what a pimp has, right? Pimp has women, better known as prostitutes. There's another H word, but I refuse to use that word. So we just gonna keep it at the prostitutes. And what the prostitutes do is for daddy. Y'all know who daddy is? Yeah. The pimp, right? Y'all put that together real good. Y'all doing good. You know what that means? Y'all doing good. That's it. You're doing good. Just keep following. Keep following. So the prostitute get instructions from the pimp. And the pimp tell the prostitute, go out there and you get that and you come back with that. And what the prostitute say, y'all? Yes, Dad. Okay, Dad. A lot of us don't like to come to terms with the reality that the disease of addiction has pimped us. You've been pimped by the disease of addiction. And every time you feel like you want to use and you don't tell nobody, I hope you press that tape in your head. Press rewind. Reel it all the way back to this point right here where you heard in the innermost depths of yourself. Go out there and get that and come back with that. But you hear yourself say, okay, Dad. Because that's what the disease of addiction does. It solicits us. It will solicit you. The prostitute, no self-esteem, degrades herself. Watch this. Degrades herself. Lowers her standards and her values to meet the need that daddy has. Y'all ain't getting this. So whenever the disease of addiction get to jacking around with you, right? You have to, see, everybody got some legs in here, but we don't really know how to stand on it. See, recovery gives us the opportunity to learn how to stand on something and for something. Because if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Again. And again. And the next time ain't going to be no better than the last time. Or the time before that. Or the time before that. Because you're too busy. Okay, Dad. In compliance with the disease of addiction. Any sponsor, I thank God for my sponsees today. Because I try to encourage them to get pissed off and stay pissed off at the very thing that has always been holding them back. And recovery is a process. Watch this. In order for me to discover, I got to be willing to uncover. My truth has always been fleeting. I've never stood face to face before my truth long enough to accept it. Yet alone, I can't accept what I can't see in me. I can't accept what I can't see in me. See, you can see me better than I can. Oh, y'all missed that, so let me give it to you like this. I don't have no problem with me. But you might have a problem with me because what's okay with me might not be okay with you. That's called marinade. Let it sink in. Let it sink in. Marinade. I have to allow myself to become willing to do something that I've never done. And in my changing, while I was here at the harbor, right, my change didn't come without a confrontation. I had the opportunity to confront my addiction right here. And I did just that. Y'all know what a Dear John letter is. I had to write my addiction a Dear John letter. Oh, y'all ain't getting it, man. Y'all missing it, man. God showed me standing at an altar, holding hands with me. What that jive turkey just say? I say, God showed me standing at an altar, holding hands with me. What that jive turkey just say? I said, God showed me standing at an altar, like two people finna get married, and I'm holding hands with me. I'm standing beside me, holding hands with me. And I had to ask, y'all know I ain't got enough sense to figure that out. I'm not intelligent enough to figure that out. So I had to ask God, man, what is you showing me? And he showed it to me 2 or 3 times. So every time he showed it to me, I'm intrigued even more so. So I had to just blatantly admit to him, Lord, you know I ain't got enough marbles to figure this out. Why don't you go on and just reveal to me, show me what it is you're trying to say. Tell me. Make this kindergarten clear. Y'all say that. Kindergarten clear. He said, you have no way of living your life for me until you divorce yourself of yourself. Because you in my way. And I was blown away at the reality of what he was trying to convey to me. I'm holding hands with me. So, you know, they got this term that they use nowadays. I'm just doing me. I'm just doing me. So as long as I was doing me, I ain't had no room for him. It hit home. So I hold on to that, right? And I don't exactly know everything that there is to know about my future. Really, that ain't even none of my business. My deal is to learn how to live life on life terms without the use of drugs. Because drugs was like a stumbling block. But it was a symptom of the real problem. See, I would like to come in here and share with y'all how much of a drug problem that I had. When I got so hard, I ain't had no drug problem. Y'all know what kind of problem I had? I had a Kevin problem. I had a Kevin J problem. And Kevin J had some underlying issues that existed in his life, right, that needed to be dealt with. Because all the years that had passed, it was, those issues were getting the best of me. Those issues, those unresolved issues in my life were like the fuel in my tank that gave me permission to continue to use. I use it as an excuse, but it don't matter what the excuse is as long as we got one. You know, Pablo's dog got ran over today. Shit, let's go get one. You know, man, it sure feel good out here. Let's go get one. Knowing I ain't never had one or nothing. I don't know how to do one. That's unheard of. I'm from South Dallas. We don't do one. from South Dino. You know what I'm saying? But I had became a product of my environment. Along with the behaviors that I already had, I had some other learned behaviors that I adopted. And no, you know, if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. Oh, y'all missed that. If you don't know exactly where you're going, any station of time, God would bring all of that stuff that I needed to the forefront. Right here at Souls Hall. Right? So he gave me something to do. He put me to work. So I learned how to, I had people that were very admirable. Brent was one of them. Reggie was the other. This guy right here is so freaking radical for recovery. You know, I'm almost, you know, I have adopted that personal trait that he has, that radical behavior that he has for recovery. I'm a go-getter today. I'm a doer today in my recovery. If I don't do nothing else, I'm going to stay plugged into recovery. Right? And I'm going to try to do the best that I can to be the best example that I can. Because they show, it's one thing to tell me, but when you show me what it's supposed to look like. So thank you for being an example to me. I told Reggie, I'm watching you. They say the program is under no surveillance at any time. That's a lie. Because I'm watching you. I'm watching everything you do. And I'm adopting new behaviors. Because I told you, there is no model of the recovering addict, right? But there are some people who are walking this deal day to day, right? They're putting feet to it and they're walking it out. And they're showing me what it's supposed to look like in action. So I just like when I learned how to, you know, what they call it, you know, what they call it, monkey see, monkey do. You know, we mimic each other's behavior. That's what we do. We mimic each other's behavior. So if I'm willing to put a bad behavior down, I got to have something to put in its place. Souls Harbor gave me that. They gave me something to look at that I could pursue. I want to be like him. I like that about him. I want that for me. I like that. Brent be here in town hall. Y'all know what he called you. I ain't got to tell you. Meows. Mildly put. But I had to learn how to stand on my legs. God gave me a good set of legs, but I didn't know how to stand on them. I kept falling for the banana in the tailpipe. The old okie doke. And so the recovery aspect has given me the ability to see me coming. When I get on fire, I sweat. Right? But I remember when I was sweating in active addiction, it wasn't because I was doing the right thing. Today I sweat as long as I need to because I'm trying to do the right thing today. I'm doing it. And I'm leaving the results up to God. I'm doing the best that I can. And I leave the results up to God. Today I have a sponsor who helps me in my recovery. Who's available. He's visible and available. So that's what I do in my recovery today. I try to be visible and available for my sponsees. The ones that God has placed in my life. After I left Souls Harbor, watch this. There was a process that I went through here. There was a transformation that I went through here. But it all had to start with the information. All I knew is what I knew when I got here. That's how to get loaded. How to do dope. I didn't know nothing about living life on life terms. I didn't know nothing about that. I was just existing before I got here. I had to come to Soul Hall, find some folks that knew how to live, and try to follow that example. Because I didn't know. And I'm just going to be honest with you. This program saved my life. And even in the process of them saving my life, I didn't even want it. I didn't want my life even then. The Lord Jesus Christ is my witness. So when you hear people say, God did for me what I couldn't do for myself, I know what that looks like. I know what it feels like. I told God, if you are who you say you are, and if you love me like you say you do, then you better do something because I can't. That's a plea for help. That's surrender. And I ain't stopped surrendering yet. God has kept me in a state of surrender for 5 years. Oh, y'all missed it. I wish some of y'all could get this. Saying work if you work it. Stop holding hands. If you're in recovery, stop holding hands with the disease of addiction. The essence of the things that will carry you back out there is what we intake. Stop yoking yourself up with your past if you're trying to go further in your future. Because so much of what got us here, it ain't going to work in our future. It's going, when we digress, so do our dreams, so do our hopes, so do our aspirations. It goes down the drain. In recovery, I'm a living witness. Lost dreams awaken. New possibilities arise. Because of God's grace and His mercy and this thing called recovery, I haven't found it necessary to drink or drug. Watch this. Since May 9th, 2014. And I remember when I couldn't put 2 minutes together, yet alone 5 years. I'm a miracle today. I'm a living witness of what this program can do and will do if I'm willing to let it happen. Let it manifest itself in my life like the disease of addiction did. I share with my sponsees, it don't make no sense to go 125 miles an hour in active addiction and then come into the rooms of recovery and expect to go a smooth 25 miles an hour. See, Rick, what happens is we end up getting just a little oil change. Well, what is that, Kevin? Well, we come in for 3 hots and a cot, get about 15, 25 more pounds on us. We ain't got to use the rope no more. We can go out there in the warehouse and get us a belt. You know, get us a shirt that fit, jeans that fit, socks that smell fresh. You know, they got washing machines, dryer, detergent, all of that stuff. You know, I brush my teeth a couple of times, you know, shave up real good. And I start to looking good. And I start to feeling good. But I forget about the disease of addiction. That's key. Just because I look good and I feel good, that don't mean that it's all good. 2 words that I have learned how to implement in my recovery today. Diligence and vigilance. Diligence and vigilance. Diligence. I have to be a doer. You ever heard of due diligence? I have to be diligent in my recovery. Thorough. I have to be thorough. Vigilant. You know what vigilant is? I have to be watchful. I have to be watchful. People, places, things, stuff I used to do that I say I don't do it no more. See, if you say you ain't doing it no more, that's a part of your past. Right? I don't do that no more. But you can't say you ain't doing it no more if you're still doing it. But I have to tell you that the things that we was doing out there, it don't work in here. Hustling don't work in here. I'm sorry. Just in case you didn't get the memo. Hustling is replaced with honesty. Yeah. All of that other stuff is replaced with open-mindedness. And I have to be willing to do what works. to get better. I have to be willing to do what work to get better. Not practicing those things that help get me worse. The same stuff that got me here, right? And so, as I transition through the program, right? God blessed me with my own apartment, right? And this is the practice, right? This is the practice field right here. This is the practice field. And what you do at practice, that's what you're going to do during the game. If you suit up and you show up at practice, when it comes game time, opportunity to do something that I've never done before, right? See, there was a person that I really heard a whole lot about this cat, but I had never met him, right? But I really wanted to meet him. I heard so many good things about him long time ago. And I never saw him until I came into the rooms of recovery. And this person that I desired to really meet, that person was me. Recovery gave me the opportunity to meet me like I've never met me before, to understand me like I've never understood me before, to get with me, to love me, to embrace me like I've never done before. And it's only through the program that I was able to do that. And today I strive each and every day to be the best me that I can possibly be. Because I became so tired of the person that I had became. I wish that I could be anybody else other than that person I had became. So Soul Harbor has done for me so much of what I couldn't do for myself. And I'm here to tell you that it ain't over. It ain't over till God says it's over. This is not a period. This is a comma in your life. Right? And I want to encourage you, each and every last one of you, whether you're in here or out there, seize the moment of each and every day in making you the best you can possibly be. Because I stand before you the best Kevin I have ever been. And it's only because of this program that it's possible. The loving God that I have today in my life, man, we stay plugged in. We stay plugged in. And I'm just like, I don't know where I would be without him. The love that he's shown forth towards me, and I feel so unworthy at times. I do. Man, when I come in, when I get just a little bit more in touch with his love for me, it continues to blow my socks off. The little things. Man, give yourself a break. This is the practice field. So if I can't give you nothing else, let me give you this. What you do during practice, that's what you're doing during the game. You're gonna show up. You know why? Because everywhere you go, you got to take you with you. So you're going to show up. All you got to do is give time some time, and time going to tell you. Oh, y'all got quiet with that one. Let me close by saying this, y'all. There's a reading that says, when at the end of the road, we find that we can no longer function as a human being, either with or without drugs, we all face the same dilemma. What is there left to do? There seems to be this alternative. Either go on as best we can to the bitter ends, jails, institutions of death, or find a new way to live. In years gone by, very few addicts ever had this last choice. Those who are addicted today are more fortunate. For the first time in man's entire history, a simple way has been proving itself in the lives of many addicts, and it's available to us all. Thank you. My name